everybody, welcome to PNM's Movie Criticisms. I'm Miss M.
And I'm Miss P.
What's up, everybody? Hey, if you're new, well, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Sit down, relax, grab a drink, and if you're not new, well, thank you for continuing to support us and show your love. So, with that being said, Miss P, you know what time it is? Come on. You know what time it is?
Guess I know what time it is.
Yeah.
You don't need no hype, you better hype yourself. You don't need no hype, you better hype yourself up. You don't need no hype, you better hype yourself up. You don't need no hype, you better hype yourself up.
Yeah. Yo, this the PNM. This the PNM. This the PNM Movie Criticisms. PNM Movie Criticisms got the hot sauce. PNM Movie Criticisms. Hot. PNM Movie Criticism with the hot sauce. PNM Movie Criticisms. That's right, everybody. We tell you everything that's hot and everything that's not. So, Miss P, what are we reviewing today?
Oh, we watched the worst movie ever, but it's called Trainwreck, the poop cruise.
Miss P, she's like, I'm like, look, it's trending. Listen, everybody, we have to rate this movie because that's what we do. This is our first documentary. So yay! Yay! And when we rated using what? We rated using PNM's movies criteria chart. Basically, up at the top, we have the Carolina Reaper. There's nothing hotter. This film is pure perfection. It's gold. Okay? Beneath that is The Ghost Pepper. It's a wonderful movie, just perfect. Well, no, it's just missing an element that keeps it away from being Carolina Reaper, right? And then below that, we have The Habanero. The Habanero is a good movie. It is good. You and your family enjoyed it. You know, it's like a feel-good type of movie. Beneath that is The Jalapeno. It's like meh, meh, like whatever. And then beneath that is The Bell Pepper, which is like, I just want my money back. And you're kind of angry that you spent all this time watching it and you weren't productive with your life whatsoever. You didn't de-stress, you didn't unwind, you just got angry watching it. With that being said, Miss P, how do you rate it?
It's definitely, because it's a true story, so I can't rate it too low, but it makes me never want to use Carnival for nothing. Don't sue me, just reviewing a movie. So, we'll have to give it jalapeno, honey. Okay. Jalapeno.
A jalapeno. Well, part of me is like, ha 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 ha. The other part of me is like, no, I've been on Carnival so many times. So many times have I been on Carnival. Speaking of which, let me write something down. I forgot to write it down. Carnival sunrise. You're going to see why this is important. Okay. No. No. This was messed up. I'm gonna give it a habanero. Yeah. It was interesting, I thought. It's very interesting. As Miss P, like,
Interesting
what?
enough to make me never want to do a cruise.
See?
Yeah.
Yeah, you
But
learned
no, it
something.
wasn't. There was nothing about acting, or it wasn't even like that. What it was a documentary about literally these people went on this cruise. Here's the synopsis for me. They went on a cruise. Day one was great. Day two, tragedy happened. Day three, tragedy. Then they get stuck out in the middle of the sea. I don't have time. Then you gonna tell me I have to poop in a red bag? A red bag, mind you. Not just, you gotta poop in a red bag and then throw it away in the trash can like it's normal. That's not normal behavior for me. Then People are acting crazy. They go crazy. They're trying to drink. They're trying to eat. People are taking 15 hamburgers. I don't have time. When I go to places, I like a little bit of order. I can't. A habanero is too high on a scale for what we can give it.
I don't think a habanero is too high, Miss P.
I mean,
I do not.
we'll figure
It
it
was
out because I don't
informative.
think it was,
Yeah, we will figure it out. We will. We
because
will.
that was the
We'll
worst
figure it
thing
out.
I've ever seen in my life.
Hey, I think it's because it hits home to like this could have happened to you, right? This could have happened to anybody. Really, truly, right? I'm just saying. Hey, ladies and gentlemen,
I don't do
we,
cruises for this reason.
well, ladies and gentlemen, we cannot give our ratings without justification. So introducing PNM's movie criticisms criteria. So let's talk about it. We have 9 that we talk about. Coming in at number 9 is, do we like it or do we love it? Okay. Is it historically accurate at 8? At 7, to distract my emotions. At 6, did it keep my attention? At 5, production elements. Okay. At coming in at number 4, we have directing. Number 3, we have quality of acting. Number 2, we have sound quality and effects. And coming in at number 1, Miss P's favorite, cinematography. So, Miss P, did you like it or did you love it?
That was just a horror show.
Hmm.
Like literally a poop shoot horror show. For real. If I had pee pee and poo poo leaking on me and I'm trying to sleep, we're, there's a problem. So I was in the middle. Like I didn't like it and I didn't love it. There were parts that were super
Okay.
funny and there was parts that were super disgusting. So I'm right in the middle.
Hmm. Me too. Speaking of which, I have some quotes. My favorite quotes. Quote number 1. Fortunately, we had a working satellite phone. Now, this was said by one of the captains. Like, you know, like the captain, but he assists the captain, right? Fortunately, we had a working satellite phone. Yay! And then a lot of the people who work on the cruise don't come from the United States. Okay? They're catering to Americans who are on vacations, right? So one of the ladies, she says, these are Americans. They're not used to these types of conditions. And she says, welcome to the Soviet Union. I was like,
Where
oh,
who's gonna do
is
anything
this
about it?
Oh, and I have one more quote. That was the tipping point. This is referring, huh, Miss P? This was referring to the tugboat that comes to get them. Now, mind you, it's supposed to be a 4-day cruise, but then it becomes like a 6-day cruise, right? And poop is piling up. And the lug boat is coming to pull them. And I was thinking when I was watching it, it's one tiny lug boat, right? One tiny lug boat. And despite this
Tugboat, honey,
fact,
tugboat.
tugboat? Okay, thanks. Tugboat. So it was one tiny little tugboat, right? To pull that massive ship. What happened if, like, the draining is messed up? There's poop coming up out of the drains. This is poop filled water, filled with excrement, just feces galore and urine coming up from the drains, coming up the toilet, coming out of the sink. Okay, this is coming out of all of the shower drains, right? And guess what? This little tugboat is pulling this massive cruise ship, and the cruise ship starts to tip, right? Imagine when all this is tipping, guess what else is tipping? Urine, feces filled water. It's tipping everywhere. Cueing serious face. Yeah.
And once
So
again,
yeah,
this is
the only
why you
thing
don't catch me going up there in that water. Mm-mm.
For Miss P, this is not the best. She's never been on a cruise before. And I I want to get her on a cruise. I don't know if I'll ever be able to do it now.
No, there's a reason why God made me a human being and not a fish, because I belong on the land, not in the water.
I'm not
What?
an amphibian, she says.
There you go. I'm not a
I
fish.
am
I'm
a
not a frog. I'm not a whale. And see, here's the key thing. This is what I've always said about my life. If I don't bring them into my home, I'm not going to go into their home. Sharks live in the ocean. Octopus live in the ocean. Piranhas live in something else. If I don't bring them home on a plate, then I ain't bringing them into my house and I ain't going into their house. That's their house. I ain't going to their house. Thank you. In the middle of the ocean on a boat that just happens to be like, oh, we're having a fun time. Don't forget, we could sink at any moment. I don't have time.
Yes, I agree with you. So, ladies and gentlemen, imagine that you have gone on a cruise. Everything is paid for in this one price. You like to go on cruises, and normally you do every year. But this year, you choose Carnival Triumph. That's right. I repeat, Carnival Triumph. Okay? And you have your cruise host, Jen, a very nice British lady. And Jen is going to be your host and tell you what's happening. And everything starts fine. You're drinking, you're partying, and then an engine blows. And you keep hearing alpha, alpha, alpha. You walk outside of your rooms, you go onto the deck. Smoke is coming from that big red tail. It's not long before you find out the ship is on fire. Electricity lines cut. And, worst of all, the drainage system is no longer working. If you're a man, whizzing over those rails is easy. But if you're a lady, oh goodness, it's a doozy. I don't know what I would have done. Like, how am I going to pee?
In the shower, of course, like they said in the movie. Who's peeing? Who's getting
In
naked
the
to pee?
shower.
And there's no water. So you gonna pee in the shower? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so anyway, now let's move on with this. These are the details. These are the details. You know, of course, this is a documentary, so this is an entirely real situation. If you follow us, you know, we usually do narratives, but this is our first documentary, so I want you to keep in mind that this is real. So, number 8, is it historically accurate?
Yes. They brought back some of the
Yes.
people from the trip.
Hmm. This
And
is
the
true.
duos that they
You have
had was
everybody
horrible.
there. Yes. This is true. This is true. Who did we have on this boat? We had, on this,
You
let's see,
had
we
a
had Brooke
father and a
Baldwin.
daughter. You had the father and a
Yeah.
daughter. You had the bachelorette
Hmm.
party. You had the guy that just proposed to his fiance with um
Yeah.
her family. And then
Yeah.
that was it. It focused on those three people. I mean those three groups
Yeah.
of people, I'm
Pretty
sorry.
much. Yeah, definitely. Unfortunately, they don't have them really here like this. They have, like, the celebrity footage that was in there, and also the popular news anchors that we know, like Anderson Cooper, Conan O'Brien, Jon Stewart, and Brooke Baldwin, and everything. But we don't, unfortunately, have their names. That's horrible. They should be a part of this cast list, but they aren't. Anyways, maybe I can find another one. So basically, in the father and daughter, let's keep the one thing to add about the father and daughter is that the daughter is 12 years old, okay? The daughter is 12 years old. And there's some crazy stuff that happens, right? But anyways, let's continue up our list. Coming in at 7, Miss P, did it strike your emotions?
Disgust, yes.
Yeah.
Like that was horrific.
Yeah,
Like, could
I
you
can see
imagine
that.
being stuck and then you trying to find a toilet to go take a wee in or take a poo in? I don't have time. I cannot do it. And then to have the nerve to come over the intercom and be like, poop in these red bags. I can't do it. I'm sorry. It's too much. So did it strike my emotions of disgust? Yes. Did it make me think, oh man, taking a cruise would be the best thing to do? Not at all. No.
Yeah, I feel you, Miss P. Let's be honest. Ew. It's disgusting. It struck my emotions because honestly, like I'm always there, right? Like like on a cruise, literally. I've been cruising ever since I was a tween. So, it's a part of what I do. All right? I'm always doing it, always. And to think that I could have been caught up in this situation because I'm very familiar with a number of cruise lines, definitely Carnival. So I don't know what I would have done. I do know one thing. I would have found that secret hidden bathroom that nobody knows about. I would have. I would have. Yes, I would have. It kept my attention. That's number 6. It kept my attention. What about you?
It kept my attention all right.
Yeah,
Because it
yeah.
was disgusting and it's kind of like a train wreck. Once again, you don't take your eyes off of a train wreck because you're like, this is horrible. Then you get into the nitty gritty and you're like, well, this is really bad. This can't be happening. This is not real life.
But it is though. It's real life. And it's happening. It's happening to Americans. It's real life. I remember Abhi. Abhi's from India. And Abhi had the most vivid description. He said, I went into one of the public restrooms and it was one of the worst things he had ever seen. Like, people were doing number 2 in the toilet and then taking toilet tissue and putting it on top of that and then doing their number 2 and then another person will come along and put their toilet tissue on top and then do number 2 and repeat the process over and over again. And Abby, he said it was like lasagna. And I was like, oh. And at that time, I can't curse, but it's like a beep lasagna. A lasagna made out of beep. And I love lasagna. It's like one of my favorite dishes. But Abby will never be the same. Abby will never be able to eat lasagna. I feel for you, Abby. I feel for you. All those layers. So yeah, it kept my attention. Anyways, Miss P, let's talk about production
Uh,
elements.
I mean, there wasn't a lot of production elements. It was just like footage of the actual things that were happening on the cruise, and then it would be like CNN, Comedy Central, the late nights. SNL did a skit about it. You know,
Yeah, Conan O'Brien, Jon Stewart, Anderson Cooper, they're all covering it. At first, the news outlets didn't take it seriously until Carnival Legend came to save the day. And when Carnival Legend came, that's when everybody was able to get cell phone reception because nobody could use their cell phones. Nobody. But with the presence of Carnival Legend, they could. And when they did, they started chirping because Carnival let out a press release, but it, of course, kept the details to a bare minimum, you know, damage control. So when those people got reception on Carnival Triumph, they started to let loose all of the details. And that's when the news outlets finally said, oh, now we have a story. Now we have something. Yay! Hey, for all you Netflix watchers, it's trending on Netflix right now.
yuck. It's pure D.
Anyways, let's see. What's the next one? Directing. What do you think about this? What do you think about the directing style of this documentary?
Documentaries are basically not all the same, but this one was shot very realistically. It would give you, what they were going through as they were talking about it. And you would see video clips of the people that were actually there doing it and stuff like that. And like, it wasn't a
Yeah,
big deal. Like,
yeah,
it was very normal.
yeah. Definitely, it was definitely very normal. James Ross is the director. I think it was well done. They used a lot of footage, of course, naturally, it's a documentary. So, but there looked like there were some scenes that were recreated too, perhaps, to help give us some visuals, and some visuals that were also created, kind of like that picture of a woman trying to pee over the railing, and how, because of the anatomy of our bodies, we would just really fall overboard, right?
Mhm.
So there are tidbits there for the documentary created for the B-roll. And it's the passengers, as Miss P said, that narrate the story for us. But not there are key passengers, but there are also key crew like Abby, and Jen. And they're
Mhm.
there also narrating the story too. So yeah. I think I think it was very well directed. He's got his documentaries down. That's why I'm giving it a habanero and not a jalapeno.
Give the storyline and all that kind of stuff a jalapeno. The directing could get a habanero from me because it wasn't bad. It wasn't a poorly made movie. It was just the the poop and the pee pee. That's what did it for me. It was just one of those things where I watched it and was like, why? Uh-uh.
Yes, yes, I understand, Miss P. I understand. And this is one of the parts, like when we get to the middle of the film, right? Because Miss P and I, we're sticklers on beginning, middle, and end, right? And a climax, right? And I mean, you can give me a beginning, middle, and end, but come on, man. I don't want a weak one. Anyways, there actually is a climax. And the thing is, what they do is they tell the cruise passengers, hey, listen, don't worry, we're going to be in Mexico tomorrow, in Progreso, Mexico. We're going to get off the boat, we're going to be fine, everything's going to be great. But all systems are down, which means the boat has been drifting. So it is nowhere near Mexico and it's closer to Alabama. Unfortunately, from where it is, it's going to take a few days for them to get to Alabama. Which means they got to sit in that. And I was thinking to myself, it really made me think about seafarers in the ancient day. They would have known this was happening because they would have been able to read the stars and say, "Oh, no, we're drifting." Because how else did they navigate the seas? They navigated the seas using the stars. So, what did that tell me about the people, the captains who guide this ship? They have no knowledge of astronomy.
Well,
They do
you
not
have
know
to
how to
remember
read
the times
stars.
they relied on a GPS and that malfunctioned. And so once the GPS malfunctioned, game over.
Game over. Game over.
Right.
Thought. I suppose I should have researched this. I thought that if you are in charge of guiding a boat, being its captain, you should have at minimum skills to be able to read the stars. You cannot ever assume that your GPS system on the sea in the middle of nowhere is going to continue to work. The very fact that Carnival Cruise Lines took so long to get a tugboat and to get these people to a suitable location is startling to me. It's very startling. And then, and then you had the tenacity to have past experiences with boats having similar trouble and you don't fix it. Come on, Carnival. You know you should have known better. I am disappointed in you, Carnival. If you're watching this, I want you to know I'm disappointed in you. Because, I've been cruising on Carnival since I was a tween, okay? This is irresponsible. I'm so disappointed in you.
And what did they change the name of the boat to?
Carnival Sunrise.
Whoever's been on Carnival Sunrise, you've been on a boat that was inoperable at one point. How does that make you feel? Good. Yeah, they had poop and pee pee in there, all over everything.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. If you've ever sailed on Carnival Sunrise, you have had the most honorable privilege of literally having a vacation on a boat that turned into the largest toilet that is man made to have ever existed. Ouch, ouch, ouch. I only have one question for you, and Miss P, I'm sure you have it too. And that is,
Mm.
how did it smell? Did it smell fresh? Did they do a good job
How
cleaning
it
it?
smelled? Probably 88,552 gallons of bleach to get rid of that smell of the poop and the pee. We see
Yeah,
you out there.
yeah, it's excellent.
People that had to wear hazmat suits to clean that mess up. Hazmat suits to go in there. You're like, well, I would have did a Fred Sanford really fast. Take me home, Elizabeth. This is a big one. This is the big one. Mm-mm.
Miss P, the whole time I was watching this documentary, I had all these jokes in my mind, like the beep hit the fan. Like, literally. Did you have little puns going through your mind? Because
Yes.
I did.
And I was like, why do they call it this? And then when we got into it, I was like, this is sick. This is sick. I can't even make a good, strong joke. This is so gross.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. So, one of my favorite parts is when if I were on that cruise as a head, I would have fought to make sure this didn't happen. And what I would have fought for was not opening up the bar and giving free drinks.
That
What?
would have just made people turn into alcoholic gladiators.
Yeah, it did.
That would make
It
people turn
did.
into alcoholic gladiators because people's inhibitions go away when they drink and they just do stuff that they wouldn't normally never not do if they were not drinking.
Everybody knows that besides Vegas, what happens on a cruise ship stays on a cruise ship. Okay? And a lot of people that go on a cruise ship, they're there to do things that stay on that cruise ship, right?
Uh-huh.
And when I'm not gonna give the details of what happened because we want you to watch this. We want you to go and watch it. But they started doing some heinous, disgusting things. And mind you, Carnival is a cruise ship where they allow children. Children! And there's this 12-year-old girl on a boat, and people are doing the most inappropriate things. And of course, realistically, she's not the only tween. There are other children that are trapped in this filth, this den of filth. And a lot of these adults with this liquor, it loosens and kills all inhibitions. So, watch the movie to find out what happens.
Number 3.
The only thing I'm going to tell you, huh, Miss P?
The only thing you're going to say is what?
I'm just going to say they closed the bar eventually.
Uh-huh.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to, usually it's quality of acting, but this is a narrative. I mean, this is a documentary. Because it's a documentary, there is no acting. um, but One of the things that I remember is the father with the 12-year-old daughter. How he felt like he was so powerless to protect his baby girl. And I was like, oh, that really struck my emotions. What about you, Miss P?
Reverse.
No, it's the
It's
acting.
already. There was no acting in this.
About
This is
the
straight legitimate reactions. This is just like we're
Yeah,
watching
that's what
this
I'm
and it's a
saying. I
reaction
mean, we're doing
video.
this in place of
So
acting.
once again, you felt bad because he said a father's place is to protect his daughter, and I couldn't do it. There was nothing that I could do to protect her, really, from the crazy people. So did it strike my emotions? Sure it did. That did.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
But
but
let's skip
number
over
three.
number
Anyways,
one.
doesn't matter.
Number one,
Cinematography.
cinematography. There was no cinematography. It was like just videos to explain the situation. And it was from personal viewpoints of the situation, which was the PP field, diarrhea field, poo poo water that people were standing in. That was coming up out of their sinks. It was coming up out of their showers and the toilets. And people were standing around in it because they didn't know that their stuff was getting ready to overflow. And that's not the correct overflow that we want. So when their stuff overflowed, it was just too much for them. It was just too much. Cinematography.
Yes.
That's how I feel about it.
Yes. Yes. So, ladies and gentlemen, what is the lesson? Well, there's a few things we could gather from this. Just off the top of my head. Number one, ooh, I don't know if I'm going to cruise with Carnival ever again. Number two, this still could happen to another ship. Number three, in that event, perhaps you should bring with you a satellite phone. Miss P, how much does that cost?
Probably be like $1,000. You know, because I just have $1,000
But
just
it's worth
mysteriously
it.
laying around. If you can get it past
Think, if
TSA,
you can afford it, huh?
can you get it past TSA? Are you sure TSA isn't going to confiscate that? Like, now it is ours. That's an electronic device.
But you go through TSA with your regular cell phone. Why can't you with a satellite phone?
Because that has its own compartment. You saw how big that jank was? You can only do so
Hey,
much to get it to fit in that bag.
listen. If I can fit it into my budget, I'm getting a satellite phone. I'm getting a satellite phone. A satellite phone seems like one of those things that's a good investment. I mean,
Did it help them in any way, shape, or form? No.
yes.
They
It
had
was
it. They had it, but what did they do with it? Nothing.
well, well, one of the guys, one of the captains, he called Carnival, and they were gonna. That's when they sent the tugboat.
Look at me. After 8 days, 12 days of being on the water. Then they're like,
Hey,
oh yeah, let's use this satellite phone that we had the whole time. This could have been solved in
no,
a
they used
day
it on like the
or
third, fourth
two.
day.
Look at me. This could have been solved on the second day. And what did they do? I'm going to wait to see what happens.
Look, man, you still need a satellite phone for all y'all avid cruisers. Okay, for all of you who go hiking in the mountains, and you might
See,
fall through a crevice.
look at
Okay.
me. Who is hiking? Does it look like I hike? Does it really look like
I'm
I'm
talking
going
to our
outside and you like,
audience.
listen, audience, we're going to be smart people, okay? We choose to be smart. Where do we hike at? We don't. If one of our friends that's not the same as us says, let's go on this hike, the answer should always be, who's going? If you know no one, chances are you shouldn't go. Crisis averted.
Miss
Crisis
P, it is
averted.
not that simple. Okay.
It is
There's
very
a
much
lot of
so that
people.
simple. I go like this. Who's hiking? Are you hiking, Miss M? Are you going out into the wilderness? Just readily, just I'm gonna go hike today. Hmm. You woke up with that on your mind and your
Sometimes
spirit. That's a lie. The
Sometimes I
lie
go
detector
hiking.
has determined that's a lie. Do you go on charted
I
paths
do.
where it says, okay, so, what do we need to sell? I mean, why do we need to? That's a lie, but that's okay. We'll come back to that at the end. We'll come back to this hiking
Uh,
business.
I want to clarify. If I'm going
Yeah.
hiking, it's a very public place that's safe, where I'm not gonna fall through any crevices, okay? And it's one of those hiking trail paths that whips around the park. You know, one of those. Not as like an actual wilderness. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. There is a limit. And plus, there was just a lady that was found. Remember, did you see the news, that black lady that they found? She could have used a satellite phone.
To me.
I'm looking at you. I'm looking at you, Miss P.
You
Listen,
know
I
what
don't
that
care what
look
anybody
means.
says. From now on, I'm gonna have a satellite phone. Okay? I'm just down. Or you could just never cruise again. Ever.
I've
Also an
been on the
option.
first one. So I don't have those problems. Just
Just
like going on roller coasters. I don't do that either. I mean,
hmm.
hey, to each his own. God didn't make me a bird, so he didn't give me wings. God didn't make me a fish to go into the sea. Okay? God made me a human being to stand onto the ground where I belong. On the ground.
Ladies and gentlemen, I now have a new personal goal in life. And that's to see if I can get Miss P on a cruise. Not Carnival, of course. Not Carnival.
In the words of Amy Winehouse, no, no, no. Yes, I've been black, but
Mm-hmm.
when you come back, you'll know. No, no.
Hmm. Look into my eyes, look into my eyes, look into my eyes, look into my eyes. One day you're gonna go on a cruise, on a cruise, on a cruise, on a cruise.
Detective determined that was a lie. It's okay. Like I told you, my thoughts is I don't go into their home. They don't come into my home unless it's on a plate. So we don't do this back and forth thing. Like I'm not swimming with no dolphins. I'm okay being on the land. I'm okay.
Terrestrial, just all types of terrestrial. I got it, I got it. I'm still gonna try
I'm
to
a land
convince her.
animal. I'm a land animal. Human being.
With a satellite
I
phone.
like to be on the land.
Yes. On the land. I'm not like Miss P, y'all. I'm not. I'm on the
Yeah.
land. I'm on the
Um,
water. I'm in the
I
air.
really want to say something so bad, and you know what I want to say so badly. But because we're actually showing our faces this time, I'm not going to say what I want to say. But you know what I want to say. You know what I want to say. But I will not say it. So, does
Hmm.
anybody have any questions
Okay.
for us or anything? You should follow us on our Patreon, on our YouTube channel, on our Spotify. Come to our website, PNM Movie Criticisms.com. So that's PNM Movie Criticisms.com. Shop at our shop.
That's right. And there's the
Come to our
dash.
store. We have some, merch out. I know, new. It's new. We have some merch out. Shop with us. Holler back at us. Listen to our stuff. Give us some feedback. You got anything to say, Miss M?
No, no. Only one thing. You know we love to engage with you nicely. Nicely. Did I? No. If there's anything you want us to review, let us know. Have people tell us all the time they want us to review this next or that. Hey, hit us up. We'll review it. There's nothing to it.
And we're also looking for sponsorship. So if you feel like we can sponsor your stuff, let us know. Hit us up. Thank you.
Thank you. Hey, everybody. I'm Miss M, and I'm about this piece.
And I'm Miss P. Bye.
See y'all later. Hey, she just left without me.